What is up, gang? Thank you so much for joining me here again on the channel tonight. It is Tuesday, October the 10th, 2017, and we are here once again to bring you your official Smackdown Live review and results show. And let me tell you something right off the bat, there is a lot about this episode of Smackdown Live that I just don't get. And we are going to go over all of that right here and right now on the newest, fastest rising podcast in all of the YouTube wrestling community, the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. So, let's do this.
The Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
All right, wrestling fans, thank you so much once again for joining me here again today. My name is Nick Nightmare. With me, as always, is my trusty and loyal tag team partner, the World Heavyweight Champion of Microphones, Blue the Snowball, and we are here to talk about tonight's edition of SmackDown Live right here on Sledgehammer TV on this episode of the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. My God, you guys, there is so much that I don't get about what happened tonight. First of all, there was only 4 matchups tonight. 2-hour wrestling show, 4 matches. None of those matches really went longer than 10 minutes outside of the opening match and the main event. So we had a lot of bullshit tonight. We had a lot of talking. The Kevin Owens segment with Sami Zayn was the one shining moment of this whole entire night. The tag team stuff was okay, but there is a big problem here. We're going to talk about my problems first, because that's what I like to do. I love to talk about my problems. You guys know, you like to unload your problems on people, and we're here to talk wrestling, and my problems with wrestling tonight are very big, at least in my opinion, and let me know if you agree with me in the comment section below, which, as always, is yours. Just be respectful, or you will be kicked to the curb, my friends. And, without further ado, let's get this underway. First thing that I don't get is in the case of the fatal 4-way that was made tonight to crown a new #1 contender for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. You had The Ascension, you had Breezango, you had Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin, and you had the Hype Bros, which everybody has assumed would already be broken up by now. There was still a little dissension between them going on in this matchup. We'll get more to the nuts and bolts of the match in a little bit, but Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin would end up winning this fatal 4-way, and it makes no sense. Not that either one of these guys are not talented, but they are unestablished yet. They've pretty much just got started. They got maybe 1 or 2 wins under their belt. They still look like they're trying to find each other as a team. They don't look that cohesive yet. They're starting to get a rhythm together, but they're a brand new team. And we're going to give this team a shot at the Red Hot Usos over the Ascension, who is more deserved and has a much longer tenure in the WWE. Not that they've had many wins or losses, but this is a team that needs something to shake them up besides the comedy bit that they've been doing with Breezango, and we'll get to that in a minute. Breezango, now that I brought them up, was your obvious choice to win this match. There is not one team in this scenario that is more over than them. The pop that they got when they came out was huge. Every single time that they were on the advantage and had the cover and was about to get the pinfall, the crowd was ready to explode. Everybody wants Breezango to succeed, and I think a very comical but somewhat serious version of Breezango versus the ultra serious version of the Usos and their penitentiary would be great. It would be a feud you could build this division upon. But we're not going to do that. We're going to go with Gable and Benjamin. Why? For what? So they win this fatal 4-way, that makes them deserved. They have been a team for like a month. Breezango has been a team for the greater part of the last year, and they have been smoking hot. They have been super over. Regardless how you tease us with segments that we don't even get. Everybody's always waiting for what they're going to do. Sometimes it doesn't deliver on the comedy end. A lot of these skits lately have been lackluster, but that does not mean we don't enjoy them as a team. And we want to see them as a team. And we finally got what we've been asking for. We got to see Breezango in the ring. And there was a chance for them to be elevated to a bigger status where they kind of belong. If you don't think these two can put on some hell of a matches with the Usos coming down the stretch, you're out of your mind. You don't know Breezango then. You only know what you've been seeing on SmackDown. You got to go back and look at the history of these guys. They are fantastic. They are as good, if not maybe even better, than the New Day and the Usos, as far as wrestling ability is concerned. But we're going to go with Gable and Benjamin. Because why? Because Benjamin's a name from the old days? Are we doing that again? How many times do we have to do this? You keep bringing in guys from the past and making them better than the guys that are there now. Sure, he's trying to bring up Chad Gable, but Chad Gable was on his way up on his own. Before he had Shelton Benjamin as a partner, he was pulling off great one-on-one matches while Jason Jordan was watching on the sideline. He didn't need this. You could have, if you really got behind him and backed him, you could have elevated Chad Gable in a singles capacity without Shelton Benjamin. You could have made them go one-on-one against each other for the United States Championship. There's what you should be doing with the United States Championship. That's another problem. Problem number 2, things I don't get tonight. Why was AJ Styles pinned clean tonight? Why are you using him and sacrificing the talent and the face and the house that AJ built and all these things? You're sacrificing this for Baron Corbin and a United States Championship run? This whole situation should have been reversed. AJ Styles should have eaten the pinfall on Sunday. At Hell in a Cell, in the triple threat scenario, at least it would give you more reason to believe that AJ Styles in a triple threat only had 33% of a chance of winning that match. So it would be easier to sell and it would be much less damaging to AJ Styles as a character and his momentum. And then you could have had Ty Dillinger come out and be like, you didn't beat me, and then let Corbin get a clean pin over Ty Dillinger. That still wouldn't have made me happy, but I would have accepted it more because Dillinger's just got there. You're sacrificing a man that could be the face of your company for the next 2-3 years. You're not booking him as such. You're using him very, very little. We've been constantly on them on this channel about how little they've used AJ Styles, and that they keep having him on the announce team and doing little interviews in the back. Oh, but we can't have Jinder Mahal do an interview so that we can at least see the WWE Championship. It's bad enough we got to go through this shit on Monday Night Raw with the champion gone. Jinder Mahal's on his way to India. They couldn't film a little segment on Sunday so that he could at least say something about beating one of the greatest wrestlers in the world clean. They have nothing to do with it now. They don't know what to do. They've beaten Nakamura, which is what I don't get again. Why was Nakamura placed on a team with Randy Orton in order to defeat Rusev and Aiden English? Randy Orton's opponent was Rusev, so Randy Orton needed Shinsuke Nakamura to equal out the threat of Aiden English? Are you kidding me? What was this? I keep saying it, and I will continue to say it. Shinsuke Nakamura should pack his bags. Take his ball and leave because they don't know what to do with him. You don't have a secondary plan for Shinsuke Nakamura, a backup plan, something to do with him after you make him look so bad, something to make him look great. You think delivering a Kinshasa to the face of Aiden English is going to make up for all the damage you've done to him with Shinsuke Nakamura? Lastly, what I don't get before we get into the official review is Becky Lynch. I love Becky Lynch, straight fire all the way. She's beautiful, she's talented. I'm all for Becky Lynch chalking up a W in the win column once in a while. But in this case, Not that I'm all for Carmella, but she is the Money in the Bank briefcase holder. This is the woman that you have designated to be good enough to win the World Championship at any time, any place, no matter what the advantage may be. She is going to be the future head of the women's division. And much like you did with Baron Corbin, all you're doing is make her lose and making her look foolish. How could she just lose so much, so easily? Her big thing is her little puppy dog Ellsworth on the side. He looks like a jackass out there. We said it on last week's review too. If you couldn't pay me enough money to stand there looking like a doofus dog for this hot broad, and it gets you nothing. It did absolutely nothing. He had one moment in this match where she positioned herself between... she positioned Ellsworth between her and Becky Lynch just to gain a slight advantage for a second. But this guy looks like a jackass. Why are they doing this? It is unnecessary. They broke him away from her. And you put him back with her to make him a dog? How much worse can you make him look? The man already doesn't have a chin. Why do we have to make him even worse? And make him look like a sniveling coward of a human being. Something less than human. He doesn't even have enough balls to stand up for himself and just be like, hey, listen, I'll do whatever you want. And I'm all for it because I want to bang you, Carmella. But I'm not going to be a dog. That is so degrading. And there's a part of me that feels for this man. But that's not what this is about. This is really about the fact that Carmella lost. And the person who is the Money in the Bank contract holder, who's supposed to be a viable contender, somebody who you're supposed to believe could win at any moment, is made to look like nothing but a goddamn fool. Those are the four little things that I wanted to outline. I know it went over 4 because we jumped here and there. But this show was all over the place. And it was very strange. And we didn't have the champ show up. And, normally that's fine. Because I know one of you out there is going to be like, oh, Brock Lesnar's not around, Why is it okay for Brock Lesnar? Well, you know why? Because he's fucking Brock Lesnar. That's why. He doesn't have any competition. Jinder Mahal is no competition. And he's holding hostage the WWE Heavyweight Championship. And they don't even have the decency to try to have him say anything about what could be considered the greatest accomplishment in his entire career. I don't even care if it was more stupid knocks on Nakamura. He should have been shown somehow, even if it was a 1-minute shoot on an interview or just him saying, haha, I got the championship, Nakamura didn't beat me, screw you guys, I'm off to India. Done! It would have been enough for me to be like, well, we saw the champ tonight and he said this and I'm pissed off about it either way. But how do you not even show him on the show? This is your whole thing. This is your baby, right? This is your big thing that you're doing. We have to push the Jinder Mahal agenda so that we can get the ratings up in India. But everybody who tuned in India tonight didn't get to see their boy. So what is the point of having him for this initiative if we're not going to even move it forward? I don't understand, and it makes me crazy. And I know that some of you out there are going to be like, but you hate Jinder Mahal. Well, nobody wants to see Jinder Mahal. That's true. But he's the World Heavyweight Champion. And 48 hours ago, he pinned to the mat one of the greatest stars of this generation worldwide. Not just a WWE star. This man is known throughout the world. Jinder Mahal is known nowhere. And to those of us that do know him from his WWE stint here, we wish we never knew him. And we wish he would go away so we would just forget about him. But it's not going to happen. That's why Brock Lesnar gets a pass. There is no one for him to fight, for you to believe. He's going to have a match with Finn Balor. Finn Balor can make it competitive. It'll be great. But this is a guy that's destroyed everybody that's been put in his path so that he could be kept intact until he gets back to Roman at WrestleMania 34, which is another story for another day. SmackDown from Grand Rapids, Michigan opened up with the SmackDown Tag Team Champions hitting the ring, and their whole point of this was to show respect to their opponents after taking part in one of the greatest Hell in a Cell matches you will ever see. Jimmy Uso says that they told you so, that this was going to happen, and they got this whole tag team division on lock, but they, being in the Hell in a Cell, know now that when you walk away, the Hell in a Cell changes you. And with that being said, they want the New Day to come out because they want to say something to them face to face. The New Day come out. Jimmy and Jay was telling them pretty much, hey, listen, we are the 2 best tag teams in the WWE. We went to war. We made history that night. Compared to us, this and all the other tag teams in the back, they suck compared to us. Big E says they don't suck, but Xavier says that these 2 guys, these 2 teams rather, are the best. It was hell. Jimmy Uso says when they stepped in the cell, it got real nasty and real vicious. They brought out kendo sticks, handcuffs, chairs. Woods even brought out a cowbell. Jay says they know for a fact when they step into the ring, it's a clash of the titans that make it hard to follow for the rest of the group. Jimmy says that what they don't know is that after that show, they didn't see them drive into the next town with the ice packs all over after the match. They didn't see them being asked if they are okay, and that after all of that hit them, there is nobody else on the planet feeling battered or broken like they are besides the New Day. They understand how they feel right here and right now, and they say that they all belong together. They are the tag team division, and they run this tag team division. Big E's like, did we knock a screw loose from your heads or something? And then Woods asks, are you calling for a truce? Oos? Are we going to get a oos? Truce? I kind of chuckled. It didn't bother me too much. It's a little corny, but I was fine with it. And they said, really, all we're out here is to tell you, respect. And with that, the whole rest of the tag team division would come out. Everybody starts making their claim to the championships, and then Daniel Bryan would come out and book the Fatal 4-Way match between these 4 teams, the Hypers, Breezango, the Ascension, and Gable and Benjamin, which as we told you earlier, Gable and Benjamin would come out with the win, not Breezango. And to make it even worse, Tyler Breeze is the one that ate the pin. So there you go. That's exactly what WWE truly thinks about the Fashion Police and where they're going. After we come back from that, we're outside the locker room with Dasha Fuentes, the promo bot, in the back. Are you kidding me? She had one line to deliver and it was horrible. Very monotone. We're waiting for word with Kevin Owens, but they will not respond. Are you kidding me? Jesus Christ. They really need to shake up everything in this company. It's going to hell in a handbasket faster than I can even keep count. We come back, they're watching some highlights from the women's match on Sunday between Natalya and Charlotte Flair. Natty's in the back with some of the other girls watching along. She says it's good. It feels good and it feels right to be the champion. Lana says it looks good on you, but it will look better on Tamina, and when it's on Tamina, it'll look ravishing. When it's on Tamina, it will be garbage. Because Tamina, much like everybody else, has not been pushed properly. She's actually not that good. As much as I've always pulled for her because she's Jimmy Snuka's daughter, I always have a soft spot for second-generation talent, but I just can't get behind her. She's been given ample opportunity, and she botches all the time. She can't cut a promo, which is why they gave her Lana, but it will not look any better, Lana, on the shoulders of Tamina. Get out of here with that. Carmella's standing there in this stupid Pepto-Bismol bathing suit, one-piece bathing suit, looked absolutely terrible. Says that her fantasies of being champion are more real because she's got the briefcase, which we've already gone over, that it makes no difference because you look like a schmuck with the briefcase because you don't win. So you're probably not going to win when you cash it in. Natalya says they can agree on one thing, and they all deserve to be champion more than Charlotte Flair. With that, Charlotte shows up, and Natalya asks her, oh, Charlotte, why the boo-boo face? Did you break your daddy's heart again? And then Charlotte, all hell breaks loose. She mashes her with a forearm. Next thing you know, everybody's trying to pull her off Natty. that was the end of that. We go to the back once again. We see Renee Young with Baron Corbin in the back. Baron Corbin saying it feels good to have the United States Championship and to shove it in the face of all the keyboard warriors who wanted AJ or Ty Dillinger to win. He did not need any shortcuts on Sunday against two men, so he won't need any shortcuts against one man tonight. And this will be the opportunity that AJ squanders, which, as we told you, he absolutely did, as he would go on to lose that match later on this evening. Match number 2 on this night is Carmella with James Ellsworth versus Becky Lynch, which was nothing. It was nothing. It was not impressive. Becky Lynch made Carmella look as good as she could look, but there was a lot of the usual running away, Sissy Mary kind of fighting, coming from Carmella, hiding behind James Ellsworth, trying to cheat to win. And then she gets wrapped up in a disarmor and taps out. Done. At least she tapped out better than Alicia Fox. My God, don't get me started on that one again. Kevin Owens makes his way out to the ring very, very, very painfully. He did not look comfortable at all. He was wearing a shirt that said "Fight Anyone," which I dug that. As you can see, I dig Kevin Owens and his gear, and I kind of like that shirt. It was simple but effective. Fight anyone. It's a very simple message, and he does live up to that message constantly. Kevin Owens said at Hell in a Cell he did exactly what he said he would do. He sent Shane McMahon to hell, and now Shane McMahon is gone, and he is never coming back. You people should be counting your blessings for all of that, because you almost lost me too, he says. Kevin says he was given his own guardian angel after he went to the pearly gates. He seen the white light, and he went to it, and there was St. Peter. And St. Peter was like, Kevin, bro, we need you to go back to the WWE because you're the only thing worth watching on SmackDown. And if we take you from the world right now, nobody's going to watch SmackDown. Especially since Sami came out and helped you. Everybody's going to want to know what you got to say. Without you, SmackDown is dead. It truly is the Kevin Owens show. You need to go back down to earth, bro. That's not how Kevin Owens said it, but I'm paraphrasing. That's essentially what the message from St. Peter was. God bless his soul, because he was right. Kevin Owens says his own guardian angel was given to him. And we all know who that is, Sami Zayn. He says he realizes his new purpose, and it's to turn SmackDown Live into his very own paradise. This is Kevin's heaven, or as he likes to call it, the Kevin Owens Show. Fantastic. Kevin Owens on the mic is gold. As always, just like Samoa Joe. These guys can't be touched in that capacity. Kevin tells Sami, who comes out to the ring before he starts, that he needs to let everybody know that Kevin had no idea Sami was going to do this. This was not a preemptive attack. This was not an organized plan between the two of them. He did this on his own. Kevin tells Sami from the bottom of his heart, thank you, Sami. Sami goes and tells everybody, hey, listen, this all started back when he powerbombed me on the apron a few weeks ago on SmackDown Live. And then he tried to tell Shane McMahon, don't mess with Kevin Owens. He's lost it, man. You don't want to do that. And Shane McMahon brushed him off the side. And he's like, you know what? You do you. I'll do me. Don't worry about me, Mr. Sami Zayn. And he said, I even wanted Shane McMahon to win this match. But I'm watching this match, and Kevin Owens falls from the cage, and Shane McMahon has this match won, and then he goes up to the top to do more damage. And this is a man that I consider to still be my brother. We've had our ups and our downs, but this man is my brother, and he was going to hurt my brother, and it was the right thing to do. So he went out there, and he helped his brother, Kevin Owens, because he realizes now that after all this time, Kevin Owens was right. SmackDown and Shane McMahon and everybody there in the WWE doesn't care about Sami Zayn. He thought coming to SmackDown Live was going to be the land of opportunity like he claimed. He was promised the world by Shane McMahon, and that was the last time he spoke to Shane McMahon until he approached him about what he's been doing with Kevin Owens. And he's ashamed to admit it, but he's finally come around, and Kevin Owens was right. And he needed to thank Kevin Owens for showing him the way, for showing him the light. This whole segment was great. Sami Zayn came off as a real arrogant jerk, and I loved it. I loved it. I think this pairing of Owens and Zayn could really be a catalyst if used correctly. Now, the one good thing I want to point out about AJ Styles losing to Baron Corbin, as there's really not any good reason for it, but it leaves him free from the constraints of the U.S. title. So, if I were booking things from this point on, I would get the World Heavyweight Championship around the waist of Kevin Owens as soon as possible, because he is your number one heel on the brand. And now, he has a second in command, and it's a pretty damn good general in Sami Zayn. And let them run roughshod over the whole SmackDown roster leading up until maybe about the Royal Rumble. In which case you have guys like Shinsuke coming at them, guys like AJ coming at them, but they keep helping each other out. You know, they just, wherever Kevin Owens is, Sami Zayn is there too. And they just can't get it. They can't get the advantage. They can't get that title off of Kevin Owens, no matter who it is. In some cases, they can't even get to Kevin Owens because they can't get past Sami Zayn. That's great TV. And then you lead that eventually to what team could possibly go up against that? AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura. And you have that seed planted as well. So that when one of them finally does wrestle away the championship from Kevin Owens, you have inner turmoil, you have maybe jealousy, you don't know what situations are going to lead up into it, but you could start that right there, and then we could finally have what we've all been waiting for, AJ and Shinsuke, by the time we get to WrestleMania 34 for the World Heavyweight Championship. But are they going to do that when they want Roman and Brock to be number one? Because they know that's going to blow that out of the water. But do you want to sell out that arena? You want to get people's butts in the seats at WrestleMania 34? This is a good launching point for that. We'll have to remain in our seats patiently and wait to see if that actually comes to fruition. But this whole segment was great. It ended with them hugging, not once, but like 3 or 4 times. Kevin Owens keeps raising Sami Zayn's hand. He's like, give it up for Sami Zayn. And then Sami's like, no. Everybody give it up for the victorious Kevin Owens. And it just kept going back and forth. It was a little bit over dramatic, which is perfect. I loved every minute of it. This was the best moment of SmackDown tonight, and it didn't even involve wrestling, which is sad, but you have to give the credit where credit is due. Match number 3 on this night was the absolutely useless tag team matchup between Rusev and Aiden English, going one-on-one with Randy Orton and Shinsuke Nakamura. An absolutely out of nowhere, no pun intended, out of nowhere pairing. Makes 0 sense for them to be teaming up. Why Randy Orton would need Shinsuke Nakamura to even the odds with somebody the likes of an Aiden English is just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. There was no vindication in this match for Shinsuke after what has happened to him on Sunday. There is no hope in sight. It's almost like he was now just immediately taken out of the World Heavyweight Championship contention, and he's relegated to Rusev territory. It's Rusev Day for Nakamura. Because where does he go from here? He gets a cheap win over a mid-card jobber in Aiden English, who's, I thought they were going to start to rise up, but he's just there to take pinfalls. What was the point? So Randy Orton can deliver an RKO to Rusev out of nowhere? It's not out of nowhere anymore. We all know it's coming. Just because we don't know when it's coming doesn't mean it's out of nowhere. Every time Randy Orton's around, you're going to see the RKO. So it's not out of nowhere. Just like Sister Abigail. Oh, are we going to see? Are we going to see? Perhaps we'll see. say it enough and you know you're going to be there, because why would you keep repeating it? An RKO is always going to follow Randy Orton, especially if there's a match going on. And it's not out of nowhere. It's his finishing move. It's what's going to happen. It's predictable. Garbage. Out of nowhere. Randy Orton and Shinsuke Nakamura win. Shinsuke Nakamura delivers a Kinshasa to the face of Aiden English. Cares. Renee Young, once again, is in the back with AJ Styles. She's asking him about his confidence tonight. AJ reminds everybody that Corbin didn't beat him on Sunday, and there was only one man who was phenomenal on Sunday, which, if you didn't win the match, you weren't phenomenal, AJ. I'm sorry. Corbin proved something when he failed to cash in. He's prone to make mistakes. He does not know if Corbin has convinced himself that he is better, or if he's figured out a way to walk out with the title. AJ says he will be damned if some lone wolf will come and take his title. AJ also says some might think he is overconfident, but he knows he can win, and it will be the end of days for Corbin as champion. Decent promo for AJ. Not bad. We come back, and this was mildly interesting. There are two men standing in sleeveless trench coats holding sledgehammers. Now, initially I would be upset about this, but I did borrow the sledgehammer from Triple H. It's my little homage to him. So, obviously they're not doing it in tribute to me, but I can't be upset when somebody else uses a very universal symbol such as a sledgehammer. Their sledgehammers looked pretty fucking awesome, though, and I absolutely want one. And not that that's going to make me get behind this repackaging of what would be revealed to be Eric Rowan and Luke Harper, and they will now be known as the Bludgeon Brothers. The Bludgeon Brothers? My lips don't like saying that. It doesn't feel natural. The Bludgeon Brothers. I feel like I'm going to throw up when I say it. The Bludgeon Brothers. I don't like the name. I do like the look. I don't mind. They cut a little promo here. What did they say? I got it written down here. Hang on. Here we go. There is no conscience. There is no moral compass. Broken bones, severed spines. Harper and Rowan, the brothers. We'll see where that goes. We need tag teams. This is a formidable tag team. This is finally another heel tag team, because it seems to be all face tag teams at the moment. Even the Usos, with how vicious they be, they're over with the crowd, so they get a lot of cheers. So there's almost like no bad guy tag teams. And they would definitely fit the mold with the way they looked here today and the way they're coming across. They're here to break bones and sever spines, and that's absolutely fine with me. I'm interested to see what music they throw together for them, what the entrance will look like. How long will we wait to see them? Is this a false tease, much like Pulp Fashion, which was hyped to be on SmackDown after that little segment on Sunday night during Hell in a Cell, where we didn't get the reveal of any spectacular, crime. We didn't even see what they solved. It was just a box with the 2B on it, and then the Ascension came in and wants to be friends. Great. Is that the resolution? I still don't know. It feels like the criminal that they were chasing is still at large. Or was it the Ascension the whole time? I don't understand it. If you understand it, let me know, because I didn't get it. And now you didn't even follow it up. Again, they keep doing this. They keep promising the Fashion Police segments and then go, you know what? Screw it. Just because they were in a match doesn't mean you couldn't show whatever segment you had. You could have had it later on that night. I don't know. This match, this whole show just felt thrown together last minute. Like they wrote themselves to Hell in a Cell, and then they were like, oh shit, it's Monday, and we forgot to write the follow-up SmackDown. What do we do? And this is what you get when you let things like that happen. You also get segments like this where Bobby Roode comes out, and I never complain about Bobby Roode. I love Bobby Roode. Look at him. Look at him here. He's glorious, right? Not tonight. Tonight, Bobby Roode clearly fuddled his lines, or forgot his lines, or something. There's a lot of very awkward pauses, and a lot of just him saying, yeah. Like he was trying to stall and think, what am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to say? Dolph Ziggler seemed to be trying to fill in the blanks by ad-libbing, but it was a little bit of a fail tonight for the Glorious One, and the whole segment was useless. It was an almost 10-minute back and forth between the entrances and everything for them to announce a rematch between the two of them for next week. I don't care. What else could you do? Bobby Roode won. The only thing we need to see is Bobby Roode deliver a glorious DDT. That's the only thing that we didn't see. So is that what we're going to see? And then are we going to have Dolph Ziggler go away? I don't know. I'm still unsure of when his contract truly expires, how much longer we're going to go about this ridiculous angle. And let me say this about that. Dolph Ziggler's entrance, right? It starts off with the music, it kicks in, right? And then it fades out, and they have the record scratch there. And it just feels very dated, and it doesn't seem natural to me. To me, it should just cut off. I'm here to show the world, and then just drop to black. Everything goes black. You don't need that long, annoying record scratch. Who even uses records anymore? Do you kids of this generation even know what that noise is? I haven't seen a record in maybe 15 years. DJs and everybody you see doing parties and stuff, everybody's using discs and digitals and MP3s. What's with the record scratch? You want me to believe that somebody's in the back by the gorilla position playing Dolph Ziggler's music off a record and use it, scratch it off? Unnecessary. Overkill. Much like the background music during Sister Abigail's promo. It's just more of this overproduced garbage, unnecessary nonsense. After this whole debacle of a segment between these two, we have match number 4, AJ Styles versus Baron Corbin, where I already told you Baron Corbin walked away with a clean victory, no shenanigans, no excuses. They have put over Baron Corbin, sacrificing AJ Styles. And where does that go from here? Where does that leave AJ? What's in store for him? Are they just going to put him up against Jinder now? I don't think so. If you feed AJ Styles to Jinder Mahal, I will stop watching SmackDown Live. That is my end point. If at any point during the next few months I see this man pin or fail to lose in any way to AJ Styles or Kevin Owens, I'm done. And I will tune back in when he loses, and you will never see another review on this channel of SmackDown Live until Jinder Mahal is removed from the championship. There will be no excuses. There will be no turning back, and it will be the death of the AJ Styles character. If they sacrifice him to Jinder the way they sacrificed him tonight to Baron Corbin. And I know some of you might be like, well, the guys has to lose, right? You can't just always win. That's true. But when you're AJ Styles and you haven't wrestled in the majority of the last 2 months, you've wrestled maybe 2 matches, you should be crisp, you should be fresh, you should be prepared, and there should be no reason for you to be losing to guys like Baron Corbin in a one-on-one situation in the main event of your weekly show. When AJ Styles is the man that should be walking around holding that belt. Defending it against the likes of the newly heel Sami Zayn. Can you imagine AJ Styles versus Sami Zayn with the World Heavyweight Championship on the line? Even if you take the championship out of it. Styles and Zayn, I'm ready for that. This new bad guy Sami Zayn, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. What he does with Kevin Owens is the only interesting thing that is going to even keep me watching SmackDown right now in the first place. Outside of that, there's nothing to watch. Everything that went down with the tag team division was great, but, how much faith do you have in them to continue with any real positive momentum as far as the tag team division is concerned? Very minimal on the women's action tonight. The women's division is a shambles, as we said. I don't understand where they're going. Obviously, we're going to have a rematch at some point with Natalya and Charlotte Flair. It is being heavily rumored it's going to be at Starrcade, which is going to piss me off to no end because Starrcade, for some unknown reason, is reportedly not going to be on the network. So that would make absolutely perfect sense if you're the WWE, because it really makes no sense. WWE, man, you are drunk, bro. You need to sober up and get home and take a nap and take a look at what you've done in your drunken stupor and start to fix your life, because it's starting to wear on me. It really is, in case you couldn't tell. That's going to do it for the SmackDown review tonight, you guys. It was brutal. It was absolutely brutal. There is some pretty big breaking news going down. We're going to have a news story dropping maybe tomorrow, maybe Thursday, but keep your eyes peeled for that. We are going to talk about Billy Corgan in the NWA. What kind of stuff is going on over there? Some pretty interesting things, to be honest with you. And a very, very curious rumor, which seems to be gaining a lot of traction, as it is being reported that Neville has quit and has asked for his release from the WWE. I forgot to mention last night, I did have it in my notes, and I forgot to go and mention that I noticed in that cruiserweight mess of a main event that Neville was missing. And I was curious as to why. And I think I may have the answer, and you'll have to stay tuned and check out the next breaking news report to find out. Coming at you sometime in the next 48 hours. Thank you guys so much for being here for the SmackDown Live review. Hopefully, things start to get better. But we wish for it every week, and it just continues to elude us. My name is Nick Nightmare. This is my tag team partner, the World Heavyweight Champion of microphones, Blue the Snowball Microphone. That's gonna do it, and we are out of here. And we will see you next time, right here on the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Only on Sledgehammer TV, right here on YouTube.com. Thank you so much, and we will see you next time.